far beyond the fact that they're saying that the students are going to be back in the high school next week is the overall feeling that the people in West Parry Sound are getting subpar educational quality. I have correspondence from all of the 7 municipalities to the Near North Board talking about the population projections. The new high school, or the mega school, the K-12 school, is opening with portables. With or without the construction delays, it was never big enough for the community. Seguin is the 5th fastest growing community in Northern Ontario, and we're not even trying yet. So let's look at credible population numbers that exist now. They're not just growth projections. Building a school that isn't big enough to open is the wrong way to spend taxpayer dollars. Parry Sound townships, that's, McKellar, Whitestone, Seguin, McDougall, Parry Sound, Archipelago, and Carling, we contribute almost $18 million to the education level. The townships and the municipalities in North Bay contribute $7 million. Those are 2023 numbers. Well, it doesn't feel fair when we have 2 trustees and the North Bay has 4. So when a vote comes at the Near North School Board, will Parry Sound win with 2 versus 4? Very rarely. Parry Sound School Board should not be partnered with North Bay.
Ontario NDP education critic Chandra Parma is expressing similar concerns about the ministry's involvement in this situation, suggesting the ministry knew this school would not be open in time and continued to let it play out the way it did.
The ministry knew from the start that this was an ambitious timeline. They were the ones who were pushing this forward, I think, because it looked good for Graydon Smith to be able to make an announcement like this. And the community was expressing concerns all along and were overruled by the ministry. And I think now things have reached a point where parents and students are so unhappy that the minister is trying to pretend like, this isn't on us. We had nothing to do with this. I need to urgently look into the governance of this board, when I think it's the role that the ministry played in this that should be examined, or at the very least, the minister needs to take some ownership of that and work with the board to get the school open instead of distracting with this investigation, which, given the minister's recent track record of investigations, is very likely to end with one more board where parents have no say in the decisions affecting their kids' education.
MPP Parma also expressed frustration over the minister seemingly using the scenario to further push Bill 33, which would give him more powers over school boards.
And he's also threatening that he's going to get rid of trustees entirely by Christmas. So he is desperate to create a narrative that this needs to happen. And in order for that to be the case, he needs to make the boards look like villains and the government look like the savior. So like I said, he is doing everything he can to distract from his government's own record. In this case, the involvement of the Ministry of Education in even the plans to develop this school, let alone the timeline it was being given to be built. And for the education sector as a whole, the fact that they've taken $6.3 billion out of education over the past 7 years, which you can't take that amount of money out and not have significant challenges in our kids' schools. He doesn't want to talk about that. He wants to make boards look like villains so that he can have full control over every school in the province.